Grab your magic circles. I have a little side hip series that you can do with your magic circle. We're going to get set up on the back edge of your mat so that you can line up your head, your shoulders, your rib cage, and your hips in a nice straight line. Here's what we're going to do with our magic circle. We're actually going to put it down here and we're going to anchor it down with our standing leg, with the bottom leg. So as you get down there, mine's like right above my ankle bone. You'll see me propped up, but remember, you could always lay yourself all the way down for this series. And you just want to get all set up and find and feel the work through this bottom leg to like glue the magic circle down in place. Press down. We're going to have a nice flexed foot. And then I'm going to take my other leg and I'm going to set it right on top. And again, I'm going to have where my ankle bone, like that pad of that circle is just like, I guess, above my ankle bone. So it's comfortable, so to speak. Let's flex our feet. Here's where we're going to start. Get our core engaged. You decide if you want your hand here in front of you, or maybe you want your hand back here behind your head. I'm going to put mine in front today. We're going to start with 5 little squeeze and release. And as I'm squeezing, I'm thinking about sending that top leg really long as I press and lift back up. I'm keeping my core tight, and you can see my circle wiggling all over because it's some work to kind of control that circle as I press and lift back up. Squeezing in and lifting back up. Let's get one more of those in. And then we're going to lift our leg in parallel just as far as you can go and keep your hips stacked. And then we're going to come down at the bottom. We're going to do that little squeeze in. So you could do an inhale as you lift. Exhale, find that circle and squeeze. Definitely should feel some bonus inner thighs there. Lift up, bring it down and squeeze in. Inhale up. Keep thinking about that length through your leg, even as you're pressing down into that circle. Let's get one more there. Lift it up, bring it down, squeeze in. Now with your top leg, I want you to turn out. I want you to feel like you're spinning your thigh and knee upward toward the ceiling, but don't let your hips roll backwards. And then you're going to set your leg on that circle, and we're going to take some little presses down and then release. Now I'm keeping that spinning of my leg the entire time. So you might feel that a little extra, even those glute muscles, to have to rotate your thigh externally as you press and release. Don't forget that bottom leg is staying strong. Kind of love the circle here because you have to anchor down with that bottom leg. You have to find that work. Let's do one more. Press and back up. And then we're going to do the lift in that external rotation. Bring it down. When you get to the bottom, just do that little squeeze in. You could inhale, lift it up. Exhale, reach long and squeeze it back in. And that lift it up. Bring it to your circle and squeeze and back up. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Find that circle, squeeze it in. Let's get one more. Lift, bring it down, and then squeeze to come back in. All right, now, next up, we're going to take our leg inside the circle. So I'm going to flex my feet. My legs are in parallel. And as I hold here, I'm going to do a press up. So you got to keep the circle anchored. You're going to press. We're going to do a set of 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I want you to find your turnout position with that top leg. I'm going to do a little pointed foot, and then we'll do a set of 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you could come back to parallel. Now this next series, I want you to lay all the way down. Now notice it is some work to kind of keep your legs in your circle. I'm going to lay all the way down and make sure my body's in a nice straight line. Right here, and you can decide if you want your hand in front or up here overhead. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our circle, we're going to lift it up and lower it down. So that top leg definitely pressing, the bottom leg staying super active though as I lift and lower and lift and lower. And then we're going to do a bonus set where we lift, we try to hold it, and then the top leg only does a press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're gonna bring it back down. Awesome job. All right, we have one more fun little thing we're gonna do here. We're gonna throw a little side bend in. Keep your legs active. If you're feeling that top leg working, it should be. Arm up to the ceiling. As you inhale, you're gonna lift your head and see if you can lift your legs. And then as you exhale, you can come down. I kind of like reaching this top arm way overhead. Inhale, circle lifts, upper body lifts. Exhale as you come back down. It's not a very big movement, but feels like a lot of work. And coming back, we should shoot for 2 more of those. Inhale, that lift. Exhale to come back 1 more time. Lift. And come back. Okay, we're gonna switch to the other side, but in the middle, we're gonna do a little transition with our circle. Now, this is a little tricky sometimes. Warning, getting your own feet in here. So we kind of want that circle in between our ankle bones. Sometimes I have to hold mine in while I get there. Behind us. All right, we're gonna see if we can get our legs that kind of 90-degree angle. You can let your forehead rest on the mat, or you can be just slightly lifted. Do make sure your pelvis is tilted and tucked, your abdominals are up and in. And then the first thing I want you to do is just see if you can do these. Keep the kind of 90-degree angle. Let's flex our feet. And then could we do these, lift our thighs and lower, right? It's as if your thighs are trying to float off the mat in your knees. You'll see if you see mine, they don't move very much. Feels like they're trying to move a lot, but they're not going very far. Lift and lower, and then we're gonna hold up and do a little set of pulses. So we're gonna lift up and a pulsing for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're gonna lower down. And then we'll turn over and we'll do our little series on the other side. So give yourself a moment to get all set up on these. Remember that bottom leg, it is your anchor leg. It's working just as much as the top leg. So you're gonna get yourself set up. Remember, you could lay down, you could prop. You'll see me take my hand in lots of different places, this top hand. Decide where you want yours. I'm gonna set my top leg over top of the circle, flexing both feet, so I'm nice and strong in my feet. And we're gonna get our core tight and hold up and in, and then we're gonna do a little press and come back up. Okay, we're just pressing into that resistance, but also reaching out through our heel that whole time so that our waist doesn't like collapse in. We're always thinking about our length and release. And we do that press and release. Feeling those inner thighs, right? Feeling that bottom leg, just having to anchor, being aware of it, and coming back up. All right, now we're gonna add the leg lift to that. So we're gonna lift our leg up. We're gonna bring it down to the circle, squeeze it in. Lift it up, bring it to your circle, squeeze moment. You could do an inhale as you lift up, exhale as you bring it down and squeeze, and we get our lift, bring it down and squeeze, inhale up, and exhale, bring it down and squeeze. Awesome. Okay, now let's do our turnout. So we're going to take the top leg, we're going to spin it upward. So thigh and knee turn up. You're going to turn on those glutes even more. Set it on your circle. Start with your presses where we're going to press and release. Press and release. Press and release. Keeping that bottom foot nice and active. Press and release. Press and release. One more time. Press and release. Now we get our lifts. We're in our turnout. We're going to lift. We're going to lower and press. We're stretching long through that leg, trying to keep those hips super stacked on top of each other. Don't let that top hip roll back. Lift it up. Bring it down. Squeeze moment. Inhale as you lift up. Keep thinking of that turnout. If you're like me, I have to keep reminding myself because it feels hard. Lift and bring it down and squeeze. And then coming back in. Okay, next up, we're gonna stick our leg inside the circle. Flexed foot, legs in parallel, both knees kind of aiming forward, and we're gonna do a press up. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's point our foot and turn out the leg and do it in turn out. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to come back to parallel. We're going to swing our legs back in line with our body, lay all the way down on our bottom arm. If you're not there already, you decide where you want this hand. It could go up here to the ceiling. It could go here on the mat. I'll show it both ways. And their top leg is just gonna is gonna press so that we can lift the circle and lower it back down. So we're lifting and lowering. Remember, you could go here too. Lift and lower. Make sure you're breathing. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And then our bonus one, where we're going to try to lift, hold that bottom leg still and press with the top leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring both legs down. All right, last one of this series is a little side bend. Could we lift our upper body and bring our legs up and then come back down? And keep that energy in those legs as you lift and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Pressing. Lots of work through both legs, but that top leg especially. Let's get one more in. Lift it up. And then lower it to come back down. Woo-hoo. Awesome job. That was just a little series that you can do using your magic circle.